What is going on, Nitrosites? It is your boy, the Nitro General here, and welcome to week 1 of the NPBA against the Squirtle Squad and Coach Spec Ops. Now, before we get into this, I do just want to say, if you guys are excited for this season of the NPBA, let me know by hitting that like button down below and subscribing if you guys are new. It's going to be a really cool series, a really good season, I should say. Next season, guys, though, next season is going to be Generation 9 with Scarlet and Violet come out, because this will end right around the time that Scarlet and Violet come out. We'll give it a few months for a metagame to develop, and then we're going to jump right into it. So I'm really excited about it, guys. We're mixing it up again a bit. You know, Season 1 was regular doubles OU. Season Sword and Shield doubles OU. Season 2 was BDSP. Season 3 is NatDex. And Season 4 will be doubles OU for Gen 9. So that's really cool. I'm really excited about that. If you guys are excited about it as well, make sure you let me know by hitting that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys do. All that good stuff. So obviously this is week 1. If you guys did not see my total draft analysis that I put up last week, where I go over every one of the Pokemon that I drafted for this season and why, I highly recommend going and checking it out. I also detailed a lot of the other rules and stuff of the league. I'm not going to be going over all the rules and the stuff every episode, so if you guys want to check that out, obviously go to that video and where I do talk about it. But without further ado, guys, let's just get right into the team builder. So if you guys have never watched one of my draft league videos before, there should be some text on the screen that tells you when to go if you just want to see the battle. But before we get into it, what I do is I do a pregame press conference where I talk about the opposing team's team, what Pokemon I think there's going to be bringing, what I think are going to be the threats, and then I jump into a team builder of my team that I'm going to be bringing and why I'm going to be bringing it, and then we do the battle. So yeah, there should be some text on screen if you don't really care about the team builder and the pregame press conference, but if you do, it's really cool because I talk about why I do the things that I do. So yeah. But anyways, oh man, I just dropped my stylus. Okay, there we go. Alright, so like I said, we are fighting Squirtle Squad week 1 and Coach Spec Ops. Now, Spec Ops is actually my cousin, which funny enough, but we've been playing Pokemon together since we were like really young, right? We've been battling Pokemon. We've been doing Pokemon battles since we were like. Now he is a few years younger than me, but we have been playing Pokemon together for years and years and years, right? So I'd kind of consider him a big rival of mine because honestly, now he hasn't played as much in recent years as I have, but honestly, he was one of the reasons why I got into competitive Pokemon in the first place, because every time he would come over, we'd battle and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with competitive Pokemon as much as I do now. So I'm actually really excited that he's playing again. He did play in Season 1, but he did not play in Season 2. So Season 3, he is coming back to be a coach, and I'm really excited to fight him week 1. I think it's funny that it ended up that way. But he has a really threatening team, so let's just get right into his team. If I can, there we go. So this is his team, right? It encompasses Probopass, Blastoise, Porygon 2, Togedemaru, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Whimsicott, Linoone, Pikachu, Archeops, Cinderace, and his Mega Gardevoir. So honestly, a lot of these Pokemon are really scary. Now let's just start with Mega Gardevoir, right? That thing has an absurdly high special attack stat, right? This thing hits very hard and does a lot of damage. Also gets a wide variety of moves in like Thunder, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, I don't know why I said Dazzling Gleam over Moonblast, Psychic, gets access to all the hidden powers, gets access to Energy Ball, all that stuff, right? So it's incredibly scary. It's also decently fast. It's not like absurdly fast. We do have a really good counter to that in Beedrill. Beedrill itself, it can always outspeed Mega Gardevoir, especially if we're running max speed on this thing. So honestly, we have a really good counter to that, but the thing is that if this thing hits me with a Psychic Beedrill, then he's gone. If he hits it with a Moonblast, I think we're even gone, because Beedrill's really frail. So that thing is an insanely big threat, and I'm not looking forward to going against it. Now, Cinderace is also a big threat, but Libero is banned, so he is forced to run Blaze, so we don't have to really worry about him it being the biggest threat, but it can still hit really hard with stuff like high jump kick, flare blitz, pyro ball, iron head, gunk shot, right? Like, this thing is really crazy and is really, really fast as well. So if he is like Choice Scarf max speed, he could end up outspeeding Beedrill, Mega Beedrill in some instances, but with the set that we're running, he's not, right? Archeops is super, super scary too, right? This thing is nuts. Defeatist is, it kind of nerfs this Pokemon a little bit. Unfortunately, it only gets its super awesome attack stats once it's at full HP. So once it's not, it doesn't get its a super attack stat anymore. So, but this thing is absurdly fast too, and can hit really hard. And if we are not careful, this thing is a 100% a sweeper, right? Now he's got Pikachu, which is his Z Captain. No, he has the Pikachu Z he can use. He has all their other Z moves that he can use as well. Pikachu is really, really scary, but I don't really feel like it's coming this week. I mean, it might. Eviolite or Light Ball Pikachu is really, really scary. So, I don't really think it is, just because we do have a Landorus and a Gastrodon. So, yeah. Lanoon, huge threat, right? This thing, Belly Drum Extreme Speed is nuts. We cannot let this thing set up a Belly Drum, right? If this thing sets up a Belly Drum, it has the potential to one-shot everything on the team, right? Only certain Pokemon, like, I think Gastrodon might live one, but I don't know. Kartana may live one, but I don't even know if it does. You know, Pokemon like Beedrill, Pokemon like Landorus, a lot of that stuff does not want to take a max attack adamant +4 extreme speed from this thing. Like, it's incredibly scary, right? And now Urshifu is a Pokemon that I'm pretty scared about too. It is Rapid Strike, Single Strike is banned. So Rapid Strike, that is a really, really good water type. Hits really, really hard, and obviously can go through protects and stuff like that. Now we do have Gastrodon, which is a great counter to this thing having Storm Drain, so he is going to have to be very careful if he does bring Urshifu. But because we have Landorus, I feel like he kind of has to bring it, right? Whimsicott's another one that I think might come. Obviously gets access to Tailwind, Leech Seed, gets access to Moonblast, Energy Ball, right? Like, this thing is really, really strong, and a really good Tailwind set is probably likely to come. So, I feel like that's really scary. Togedemaru, I don't really foresee it coming, strictly because we have Lando and Gastrodon. So it wouldn't really do too much, but this thing could have, you know, does get access to like Endeavor, which is really, really scary. So if he runs like Focus Sash, Endeavor, that could be pretty bad for our team. Honestly, Beedrill doesn't do very much to this thing, so we do have to be really careful. It does get access to like Fake Out and stuff like that, so we do have to worry about it, but I don't really think it's that big of a threat because I don't really think it's coming, right? Then we have the Shell Smasher, the OG Shell Smasher itself, Blastoise. I am kind of nervous about Blastoise. Water Spout Blastoise is incredibly scary. If he runs like Choice Specs Water Spout, that thing is insane. I don't even know if Kartana would want to take it, although Kartana is faster, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But obviously gets a lot of stuff. It is a rapid spinner too, so it could get rid of our rocks if we do bring it and stuff like that, so we don't have to worry about that. Probopass is not really that big of a threat, right? Does get access to Stealth Rock, right? Does it get access to Spikes? I don't think so. Gets access to Stealth Rock, gets access to like Explosion and stuff like that too. Flash Cannon, Zap Cannon too, gets access to Electric type moves, so we do have to be worried about that. And then the last one that he has is Porygon 2, which is just overall really bulky with the Eviolite. And I don't know if it would be coming because it is slow, and we do have Kartana and we do have Medicham, so I think he would have to worry about that because Medicham kind of walls this thing. But honestly, if he decides to run like Tri-Attack and stuff, it could be pretty nasty for us as well. So that is his team, guys. Like I said, is an incredibly scary team and is nothing to be taken lightly. And we're gonna get right into the team that I'm gonna be bringing. One of the NPBA against the Squirtle Squad and Coach Spec Ops. Now, this team is definitely really scary, so we really had to prepare. Now, I kind of feel like I had to bring Barry B. Benson strictly because of the fact that he has Mega Gardevoir, and this thing basically walls it in some aspects because it is Psychic, and it is super effective against us, but at the same time, we are doing a lot of damage. And plus, it gets adaptability too. So X Scissor always outspeeds it, and we always outspeed X Scissor and then knock it out, right? So this thing, so it has to be really careful, but at the same time, if it does decide to stay in and we go for a Swords Dance or a Tailwind, then we go down to a Psychic every time. Even a Moonblast, I think, if it's ran the right way. But we have X Scissor, U-Turn, Swords Dance, and Tailwind. I really don't feel like we need Poison Jab on this thing or any Poison type moves. I don't feel like Toxic Spikes are the best. He doesn't have anything to absorb them, but he does have a Rapid Spinner. He does have a Defogger. And I just don't know if I really wanted to bring it, especially because I feel like his Stealth Rocker, if he leads it, I don't really want to lead this thing, and I don't know, I don't really feel like this thing's going to be putting in too much work other than just taking out his, Gardevoir. Now, I was really hoping this thing got dual Wing Beat for Urshifu, but it doesn't. I can't believe it, but it doesn't get dual Wing Beat. It does get Aerial Ace and Air Cutter, so I could have ran Aerial Ace, but I feel like we had enough other stuff for Urshifu, so I really didn't feel like I needed to have it, but we could have, right? And then U-Turn is there just so like we can pivot. Swords Dance is there if we do want to set up. Tailwind for the same thing. Don't know if we are going to get the opportunity to use it, but Tailwind might come in clutch, especially if he does end up running Max Speed on Gardevoir. Also like Choice Scarf for Urshifu or Cinderace. Those are both really, really scary. Whimsicott too, especially if he brings his own Tailwind. This would cancel it out, so that would be kind of cool. But we are running an Adamant Nature because we don't need, because we'll always outspeed Urshifu in every set. We also always outspeed Gardevoir with every set without running a plus speed nature on this thing. So unless bearing a Choice Scarf, right? If he runs Choice Scarf Urshifu, he runs Choice Scarf Urshifu. But I'm really, really hoping he doesn't. So I think Adamant's better because this gives us a higher chance to knock out a lot of his Pokemon. And 438 attack is insane. So that's what we're doing, and then we're going to put the rest in HP. But yeah, 252 EVs in attack, 252 in speed, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's Barry B. Benson. The next one up on this list, guys, is we are bringing Toasty with the Choice Scarf this week, right? This allows us to outspeed Archeops. Because Archeops would outspeed us otherwise, and going for a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide would not be very good for us at all, right? Choice Scarf also allows us to be able to trick it to a certain Pokemon that wouldn't like it. Something like Whimsicott, something like even a Togedemaru if he does bring it, if he does decide to like Fake Out and stuff like that. We have Pain Split to recover some health too, and then Volt Switch and Thunderbolt just for, you know, stab to pivot and then just to hit really, really hard. Now, I did not bring Overheat this week strictly because of the fact that the only thing that hits super effective is Togedemaru, and I really don't think that we're going to be bringing it. I don't want to just bring Overheat on for just Toge. So I feel like Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are going to be doing even more, right? I guess it would be for Pikachu too, because that gets Lightning Rod as well, but yeah. So, I wanted to run a really, really fast variant this week because I wanted to be able to outspeed as much as we can because this thing is bulky and hits really, really hard. I thought about running Will of the Wisp for Urshifu, but honestly, if we're going to be in on Urshifu, we're just going for Thunderbolt, right? Because it OHKOs. And we're not going to try to pull some Will of the Wisp strats. I just don't really think that we need to do that. So we are running a Timid Nature, so max speed and max special attack with the remaining 4 in HP. This thing hits with a 309 special attack. It's pretty good, and 309 or 298 speed. Plus Choice Scarf gives it like into the 300s for speed. So we are really, really good. And I really don't think that this thing is going to. I think this thing is going to be really, really good for his team. So he doesn't have to worry about that, right? Now we are running Landorus with Life Orb this week. Life Orb, Stealth Rock, Defog, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Defog is there because we are faster than Probopass, so if he does bring Probopass, which I don't know if he will, we are able to defog the rocks away, stuff like that. We are also able to defog his other, you know, Stealth Rockers and other hazard centers. We also have Stealth Rock ourselves. Don't know how useful it'll be. I'd like to get it up just in case he is like Focus Sash Togedemaru, so we don't have to worry about the Focus Sash Endeavors crap. And then we do have Earthquake to hit Toge, it hits Pikachu, it hits a lot of Pokemon just really, really hard because it's Urshifu, right? And then Stone Edge is there for one reason and one reason only, and that is Archeops, right? Because Archeops can wall this thing, so if we have Stone Edge, then we do have a way to hit it. Now, we aren't faster, but we could outplay him if he does decide to switch in on an Earthquake, go for a Stone Edge, and I do believe, I don't know if we Oko unless he's like not a bulky variant, but Intimidate Life Orb I just think is really, really, really good. This thing's gonna hit extra hard. I'm really excited about using it, right? We're at Adamant Nature, the max HP and max attack, remaining forward speed. This thing really doesn't need to outspeed anything that is really going to be that fast. He is going to outspeed him anyways, so I don't really need to run Choice Scarf or anything like that. I felt like running a more bulky and a more offensive variant was probably better. This thing already has a 427 attack, plus the Life Orb is almost 500. So this thing is going to be dealing a lot of damage, so I'm really excited about that. Next one up, guys, is Slimy Slime. Obviously, Slimy Slime has to come this week because of Urshifu. I can't not bring it, because Surging Strikes is so good, especially against Rupture and Toasty, and it does a lot to Berry, and does a lot to Esmeralda as well, so we kind of have to have it, right? So we have Scald, Earth Power, Recover, and Protect. Scald is there, so for Stab. Earth Power is there for stuff like the Toge and the Pikachu, stuff like that. Scald's there for Cinderace, Archeops, Probopass. I guess it's just there for Archeops because Earth Power hits everything else too. And then Recover, obviously, to recover up. And then Protect is there because I'm a little nervous that he does run Energy Ball on guards. So if we do have Protect, we don't have to worry about that. Same with like Whimsicott if he does decide to go for a Grass type move, just to scout basically. Most of the time I don't like using Protect in singles, but I feel like it might be good here, right? Then we're running the basic set that I always run: max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, remaining forward speed, right? Being singles, we could also run a physical variant if I wanted to run like Surf Earthquake or something like that instead. So that is something we can keep in mind. But honestly, this thing I think is going to be doing a lot of damage, right? And then we have Paper Cut this week, which is our Z Captain. We are running Grassium Z just so we for sure take out Urshifu. I think Leaf Blade always does with this set, but having this will allow us to be able to take it out. Also, I believe allows us to take out Gardevoir if he does decide to switch in. We do have Smart Strike for it, but I feel like having the Grassium Z was probably better. Also does a lot of damage to a lot of other Pokemon on his team, you know, in general. So we are Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, Smart Strike, and Synthesis. Leaf Blade's obviously there for a lot of his Pokemon. Sacred Sword's there for Toge, basically, and for Lanoon, because Lanoon's obviously an issue. Smart Strike is there for Gardevoir pretty much exclusively, and well, I guess it's also there for Archeops. And then Synthesis, if we can get up some health, that would be nice. This thing isn't really that bulky, but, you know, if we do need to heal up, we do have the option to do that. It does obviously gets Beast Boost too, so if we knock out a Pokemon, there is a chance we can just sweep with this thing, which I'm kind of hoping we might get the opportunity to. But we are running a Jolly Nature with max attack and max speed. This does allow us to outspeed variants of Urshifu, and allows us to, again, without Choice Scarf, and also allows us to outspeed certain variants of Gardevoir, but I feel like he does run max speed on both, so it is for that, and we really don't need to run Adamant Nature. We already have a 461 attack stat, so we really don't need to. But that's Kartana, right? The last one up on this list is Esmeralda. I didn't think that I would be bringing this week 1, but unfortunately, strictly because of the fact that he has Lanoon, we need to have something that's immune to it, right? Something that can totally counter it. Now, I know Lanoon does get access to Shadow Claw. However, we always outspeed it, right? Other than the Extreme Speed, which it can't hit me with, right? And we do have Destiny Bond, so we could always just go straight for the Destiny Bond, and then if he does have Shadow Claw, which I don't know if he will, and then Choice Specs is there. Choice Specs is there so we do as much damage. But basically, this thing is just there for Lanoon, right? If he doesn't bring Lanoon, which I assume that he does, if he doesn't bring Lanoon, then this thing is basically useless in the battle, right? It does hit Gardevoir for super effective, but it doesn't outspeed, and it also doesn't take a hit from Gardevoir. So if we catch it on switching, cool. Energy Ball is there for like Blastoise or Urshifu as well. Don't know if we'll actually get the opportunity to use it, but we might. And then it does have Hidden Power, but it's Hidden Power fighting. specifically so if he doesn't, if he does bring Lanoon and he doesn't go for extreme speed, we can hit it with a hidden power fighting choice specs, which has a very good chance of at least two-shotting it, if not just one-shotting it, which I'm assuming he just runs max attack, max speed. So it has a good chance of one-shotting it, so which is really cool. We are levitate too, so we don't have to worry about like ground type moves. But we are modest nature, so max special attack, max speed, with the remaining 4 NHP. This thing outspeeds a lot of its Pokemon, but not the ones that really matter, like Urshifu, Gardevoir, Cinderace, Whimsicott, stuff like that does not outspeed them. But yeah. But that is a team that we are bringing, guys, this week. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. I don't know how often we're going to bring Esmeralda, so Miss Magius is probably going to be a Pokemon that that we probably keep in the back, but I had to bring it this week strictly because of Lanoon. So, but yeah. So we're just going to get right into the battle. I'm kind of nervous about this because it is week 1, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, guys, so here's the thing. There is going to be a battle video for you guys, don't worry, but unfortunately, week 1 is going to have to be a post-commentary because of the fact that we had a bunch of things happen. Unfortunately, we've had to do the battle 3 times, right? The first time we did the battle, unfortunately, because he did draft Cinderace, and Cinderace is banned, I didn't realize that Blaze Cinderace was banned, so we had to do it in National Dex Anything Goes in order to do that, which is fine, except for the fact that they give you the opportunity to Dynamax, and they don't in regular Nat Dex. And unfortunately, a little bit into the battle, he Dynamaxed his Cinderace without thinking about it. I guess he didn't realize that Dynamax was banned because it gives him the option to Dynamax, so he just clicked it, and unfortunately, rather than just being like, hey, I get the win because you cheated, I was just like, let's just restart the battle and let's just try to recreate it, right? So the second time we did it, we tried to recreate it, but it didn't go right because, like, within the first move, I actually led Landorus against his Probopass and clicked Stone Edge instead of Stealth Rock by accident, and it missed. So, unfortunately, we had when we played again, it didn't miss, and things didn't go quite the same, but I didn't have time to keep playing over and over again, so we played it through, and I actually ended up losing the battle because of the fact that things didn't really play out the same way as it should have. And I just said, alright, screw it, towards like the middle of it, and I said, let's just keep going how it is, and I ended up losing, right? What I think I'm going to do is I do think I'm going to throw that battle up here, here in a minute for you guys, and you guys can watch that before the main battle, but it came to my attention after the fact that I got so caught up in the fact of trying to recreate the battle that I didn't realize that he ran Libero Cinderace. And it was brought to my attention by another one of the teams in the league that he did run Libero Cinderace, and technically, because of the rule state, I could have just said, hey, you know, because again, I get the win, but I really didn't want to do that. First of all, I don't like taking forfeit wins. It just feels icky, and I don't like it, right? It doesn't feel rightfully earned, right? And plus, it was the first week. He didn't really realize it, so I cut him some slack, and we just redid the battle, right? Redid the battle. We kept the entire teams the same thing, except for he ran Blaze Cinderace, and that's the battle that you guys are going to see. I will throw up the original, or the first battle here, just so you guys can see it first, and then we'll jump right into the main battle. Alright, so you guys just saw the first battle where he won. I decided to put that one in here because I do feel like he deserved. I do just want to show the battle where he did win. As you guys would have saw, I think I had that battle in general. If I would have Swords Dance again on the second Spiky Shield attempt, and then I would have KO'd. But unfortunately, X-Scissor wasn't enough to KO him at the end. And that was gonna be, and that's where we were gonna leave it, and that was what was just gonna be the week 1 battle, and I was gonna give him the win. But at the same time, I kind of have to, because of the fact that he ran Cinderace, Liberal Cinderace that was banned, we kind of had to do it again, right? So this is the battle that counts, right? And unfortunately, did not have time again today to record this and sit down because I had to do this while I was at work. So unfortunately, it's gonna have to be a post-battle commentary, so hopefully most battles this season won't be, but yeah. So basically what happened is that we both led different Pokemon thinking that we both were gonna lead. Certain Pokemon, I decided to go with Gardevoir, or Gardevoir. I decided to go with Slimy Slime thinking that he was going to lead, thinking that he was still gonna lead Pro Pass. But him leading Archeops is actually really good for me, but you guys saw how much damage that Archeops did to me last time, so I just decided to straight up go for a Scald and hopefully get a burn on him, right? That was my play here, was to go for it. He does a lot of damage with Scald, and somehow we actually end up knocking him out with Scald, which really hurt on his side because of the fact that Archeops could have swept, right? If I led anything but Gastrodon, I think he just knocked out whatever I sent out with no item acrobatics or Stone Edge, right? Between everything on my team dies to that, right? Literally everything. And the only things that outsped it were Rotom and Beedrill. Now, Rotom could have OHKO'd it with Thunderbolt and outsped it. Beedrill could have outsped it, but would not have OHKO'd it in any way. So if I led either Gastrodon or Rotom, it would have died. So we got really, really lucky here on that. So it didn't do a ton of damage. He then decides to go into Gardevoir. I just stay in, and he does just knock me out with Energy Ball, right? I know that he has both Cinderace and Togedemaru, but honestly, I didn't feel like saving Gastrodon. And like I said, nothing on my team could really switch into it. The first battle that we did, that we had to restart because he Dynamaxed, that I had an upper hand in there, Mismagius did not take a hit from Gardevoir, like I thought. In the second battle that you guys saw, it actually did take a hit. So I could have, but honestly, with him not bringing Lanoon, Mismagius was basically expendable. So at this point, I do just go into Beedrill, and I actually just go for an X-Scissor here, right? I was going to go for a Tailwind, because I didn't think that he would ever stay in a million years, but if he did stay in on the off chance, and he went for a Psychic, we have nothing for this thing except for Kartana, right? So I just decided to go for X-Scissor, and he did decide to stay in, and he just gets knocked off. Now, he does go his Urshifu here, and I do decide to sack Barry B. Benson here just to get up a Tailwind, because this is going to help us out a lot, so we don't have to worry about not outspeeding Urshifu. So we do let him go down here, and I do just go Kartana. Now, I could have just went for Bloom Doom here, just to make sure I killed it, but I felt like I kind of wanted to save it just in case for Probopass, or to get as much damage off on Cinderace as I could. He goes for a Protect here, luckily, and I go for a Leaf Blade, and obviously doesn't do anything. Right, he goes into Probopass on another Leaf Blade, and it takes him, actually does not one-shot it. I go Lando expecting the Stealth Rock, he does. I go for my Stealth Rocks myself, he Flash Cannons. I just go for an Earthquake, knock it out. I was going to go for a Defog at the same time, but I didn't really want to get rid of the rocks that I just set up. Again, I just sack, or no, I didn't. I sack Esmeralda here, on maybe if he decided to go for a Fighting type move expecting Kartana, but I sacked Esmeralda here as it is expendable. I then go into Kartana knowing that it outspeeds him. He does go for a Protect again. I do go for a Leaf Blade one more time. I went for a Leaf Blade again. He couldn't just knock him out. And then he goes Cinderace, right? And this is really scary because, again, I don't want to go, I don't really want to stay in here, but I felt like I kind of had to just, did I? I can't remember. No, I didn't, right? I did go into Rotom on what I assumed would have been a Flare Blitz. and then he goes for an agility here, which is really scary because now he outspeeds. But then he decides to switch out on what I assumed was an electric type move. However, I called the switch into Togedemaru and went for a trick. Giving this thing a choice scarf now makes it faster. However, I do know that it had both fake out and spiky shield, so it could no longer go for either of those unless it wanted to get locked into it. So this basically nullifies his whole thing here. So I could go into Landorus really freely and just go for an Earthquake and knock out both of his Pokemon. He does decide to go for a Fake Out for the extra damage. He does try to go for Fake Out again because he's locked in. I knock out Togedemaru, and then Cinderace does come in here, takes the more damage, goes for a high jump kick, and unfortunately does not knock it out. I knock it out with an Earthquake, and we end up winning this 3-0. Now, I do feel bad that it didn't go the same way as it did last time, and unfortunately, I think we got really, really, really lucky with the lead, right? Because he had so many opportunities here that he could have swept with both of the, at the beginning with Archeops. If I led Landorus though, right, he outsped and KO'd me, right? I don't think I knocked him out with Stone Edge. So if I led Landorus, again, he knocked it out, right? He knocked out Kartana with Acrobatics. He knocked out Esmeralda with Acrobatics. He knocked out, if he had Stone Edge instead of Acrobatics, he knocked out Rupture, right? Beedrill always knocked him out with Stone Edge or Rock Slide or Acrobatics, right? Kartana, I'm pretty sure, like I said, pretty sure he knocked it out with Acrobatics. Rotom, the only reason why we outsped it in the first place is because we are Choice Scarf, so we would have been okay there, and then obviously Gastrodon outsped, and I don't know, did we get a crit with, I don't think we did, let's see, no, I don't know if that was a high roll or not, but either way we did get the KO, and that was really, really good for us. So we do get the win, right? We do get the win 3-0. I could have just put this video in, but I did just want to throw in that other video first because I really do think he deserves props for being able to win the first time. And honestly, if he didn't run Libero Cinderace, I still feel like he won in that last battle. I don't think Libero Cinderace was the reason that he won, but unfortunately, because he did break the rule of using the banned ability, we had to restart it, right? I could have just said, hey, I'll just take the win because, you know, because of the Dynamax and then the Libero, but I really felt like I wanted to give him a really good chance at winning, right? I really wanted to give him a good chance at winning, again, because I felt like he had a really good chance of winning again, especially after seeing it. And it was a little bit unfortunate that we both knew each other's sets a little bit, so that did play into the whole thing because we'd already battled twice already. But at the end of the day, it was a really, really good battle, and I really want to just say thank you to Spec Ops for, one, helping out with the league, and two, for giving me a really, really good battle. And basically, the first time we did it that he Dynamaxed, I think I would have won it. He won it the second time. We had to have a tiebreaker, and that's ended up happening. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did enjoy week 1, let me know by leaving a like down below, subscribing if you guys are new, all that good stuff. Of course, like I said before, there'll be one episode of this a week. Next week will be week 2, and it won't be post-commentary, hopefully, unless, because I got more time next week to be able to record, and we will just get it out. But next week, we do fight the Mobile Rider, who, obviously, if you guys remember from the dreaded Morpeko Seed Bomb knockout of my Rindo Berry Max HP Gastrodon, then in Season 1 of the NPBA, I will never forget that. So I'm terrified. He's got an insanely scary team. I don't think we win next week, so we might be 1-1, but right now we are 1-0. So, yeah, but I'll see you guys next week. Like I say at the end of every video, I am the Nitro General. I really hope you guys did enjoy. See you in the next one. Nitro General's out.